Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. I am Paisano, and as promised, we're going to talk about Pink Floyd and a compilation album that came out in 1971, I believe. It's called Relics, and it details the relatively short past up to that point of Pink Floyd, and it includes some of their biggest hits from 1967, especially in England, and some B-sides of some of those hits, and one new song. They realized after they made Adam Hart Mother that it was going to be some time before they got the album Metal, which came out in 1972. It was going to be a little while before they got that, so to keep the name out there, they decided to put this together. And this has the distinction of being the first vinyl I ever bought. I had owned some cassettes before this, but this was my first venture into the vinyl world. And I bought it not really knowing what it was, not really aware of the history of Pink Floyd up to that point. The Wall was only about a year old. I bought this album in probably 81 or 82. And I was thinking I was going to get The Wall, or something very much like it. And I put the needle on the record, and this is what I heard. Arnold Lane. A huge, huge British hit. But my 13-year-old brain, I wish I had a picture of my face looking at the turntable, thinking, what in the world is this? What did I do? Check the title. Is it Pink Floyd? This is Pink Floyd. Where is The Wall? And it led me down the path to see what brought them to The Wall. What brought them, I'm not even sure I was aware of Dark Side of the Moon at that point, or Wish You Were Here at that point. Now, I take Pink Floyd's career in two sections, pre-Dark Side and post-Dark Side. They were a completely different band. Pre, then post, obviously. The Dark Side of the Moon turned them into international superstars. But they had been flirting with that moment ever since probably about 1970 or 71. There was hints of what was to come. Metal being the most, like Dark Side album. And Dark Side was the natural step after Metal. Metal was a big breakthrough in style for them. But at this point, the time of Arnold Lane and See Emily Play and the like, and that was, those were the first singles released from Pink Floyd. They had been around for a couple of years before that. In 65, I think they were the 64, 65, they were the Abdabs briefly before changing their name to Pink Floyd after two blues, pretty obscure blues artists, Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. They were nothing. They had nothing to do with the blues. They were definitely something new on the scene, and very talented behind their leader, Syd Barrett. And like I said, this album gave me a huge appreciation for pre-Dark Side Pink Floyd. And yeah, this album got a lot of play. Lot of play. And I had been thinking about an upgrade on the vinyl for some time. And about 8 or 10 years ago, I went out and at Rob's Cheap Thrills Records in Dedham, Massachusetts, I picked up a copy. And this was the original cover, the original British cover. This was the American cover here. And this was a reissue, probably around 1980 or 81. And this, I tracked this down. This was also a reissue from 1974, the copy that I did get. And it details, it's a drawing, I believe, by Nick Mason, the drummer, based on his time as a mechanical engineering student in London before he joined the band full-time. And this album actually had 3 covers in 1996, a 1996 re-release. Saw an updated version of this mechanical contraption, whatever it is. But let's go over the track listing. Before we go over the track listing, let's talk about subscriptions. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about rock and roll here. And if you've been watching for some time and freeloading, knock it off. Subscribe. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the track list. Starts off with Iron Old Lane, followed by Interstellar Overdrive, which was off of their debut, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. See Emily Play, Remember a Day, good old Rick Wright tune. And Paintbox, another good Rick Wright tune. Side 2, Julia Dream, which was the B-side of one of these singles. I'm not sure which one. Careful with That Axe, Eugene, off of, I believe that was off of Saucer Full of Secrets. Cirrus Minor and the Nile Song, both off of the album More, the soundtrack from the film More, which was about heroin addicts in 1969. And the new song that I was talking about, Biding My Time, it's a Roger Waters tune with a tremendous David Gilmour solo near the end of it, and finishes with a nod towards their founding member and driving force before he took too much acid, Syd Barrett, and his composition Bike. Finishes out the album. This album is a ancient bottle opener, both sides of it. I don't know if they're 2 separate bottle openers or if one's the front, one's the back. Definitely in somewhat antiquated artifact. Not sure from what period of time, but it's Relics, a bizarre collection of antiques and curios, and that it is. Some reviews I read said it was there was some glaring omissions, that it didn't include songs like Point Me at the Sky, It Would Be So Nice, and Apples and Oranges. Now, Apples and Oranges is about as trash early Pink Floyd as you can get. Garbage tune. And if you like it, you know, more power to you, but I absolutely hate that song. And It Would Be So Nice is kind of lighthearted. It's alright. But Point Me at the Sky was definitely hinting at a very early glimpse into things to come from Roger Waters. It was an outtake from Saucer Full of Secrets. I'm not sure if it was included on the British version, but I know it was performed on the BBC in the late 60s. Not sure if it ever made its way onto a proper record company release or not, or whether over in England or Europe. but I'm pretty sure it didn't in the American versions of anything that was released over here. But I love Point Me at the Sky. Great early Pink Floyd song. All right. I think that's about all I have to say about this one. It is Saturday night here. And on Monday, I will be getting the Pittsburgh Pirates hat, my own little crystal ball, and picking out a new album to talk about with you guys. All right, so tune in Monday night. Thank you for your time, YouTube, and good night.